Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for pressing play. My name is Angayozi. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe. Okay, let's get into the video. So today I am talking about how to deal with over-invasive, unsolicited advice when you are a new mom, especially a first-time mom. So this is the advice that you'll be told: how to hold baby, don't give baby this, baby should eat by 3 months, you know, how to deal with all of that. And I think I've compiled like about 3 or 4, guys. Me and my porridge brain, I made a list. I always make lists. So I've compiled about 3 speaking points, and then I'll get into it right now. So the first one that helped me own my power and calm me down and not feel overwhelmed by all this advice of and being confused that the hospital and the nurses and the doctor said I must do this, now people at home are saying I must do that. So this is how I dealt with it. I calmed myself down. I was like, Anga, you are the mom now. And I don't know about you guys, but in my family, or big family, the mother has the power. What the mother says goes. What the mother says is word. So I realized, well, okay, I also have that power now. And then that is how I honed and owned my power in my motherhood journey. I mean, I didn't know jack. I didn't know anything, but I was like, I'm not going to be overwhelmed by not being sure, am I doing this right, am I doing this wrong? Fine, yes, that's gonna happen on a daily basis for that first few months, but I was like, I cannot carry on feeling so lost every day. Let me just ground myself and be like, I'm the mother now. So once I did that, that was when I was able to come up with these looking back in hindsight, obviously, because I'm not in that stage now. I'm dealing with a very naughty toddler right now. So in hindsight, this was my approach that I found worked for me. So the first one, I realized, so I honed my power. Secondly, I realized that I need to pick my battles wisely. Not every advice that I was giving that I didn't agree with was a source of me or an opportunity for me to fight or to retaliate. I realized that some things do no harm to me and baby. I can let it slide. Some things I will need to voice out my opinions and disagreement. So yes, pick your battles wisely. For example, so this one time, my partner's mom was looking after my son, was helping us out for like a week or so, and my son had just started solids. And so I had packed in his pureed veggies, his porridge, his milk, and so on and so forth. And when I picked him up, she hadn't fed him the veggies, and I was like, Ma, what happened? And she was like, no, your baby doesn't want this, he doesn't like these veggies. So I gave him porridge for lunch and his bottle. And then I was like, okay, it's fine, Ma, but he eats this at home. She was like, no, this thing is too bitter, he doesn't like it. I mean, I let it go, because at the end of the day, she was helping me. I didn't have anyone to look after my son. And secondly, my son was being fed during the day. He was fine, he was happy, he was healthy, he was eating, he was well. There was no need for me to feel offended or to fight it off. I knew that when we get home, he will have his veggies for supper. Always address your disagreement or points of like, no, I don't agree, I don't like this, I don't want to do this to my son or my child. Always do it in a calm and respectful manner, because whoever it is that is helping you and is supporting you with baby at that moment is probably someone you love and care for and has loved and cared for you, and that is why they are there helping you out. So just always handle disagreements in a very calm and respectful manner. And the fourth one, speak up and use your intuition. You are a mom, you have the power. You might not know everything, so at times you might not be sure if you need to do this or not, but use your intuition. So for example, once So my son was, I think he had colic, or he was very restless for a while, like a few days. And then my mom decided to buy one of these. I'm sure you guys, you've seen these, right? This is the Dr. Detroit's. I know you also get it in Dr. Lennon's, Haramansa. If someone has a baby, they have these small bottles and people are using it in whichever way. And then before my mom gave this to my son, I was like, can I just look at the packaging? Because there was a voice of my son's pediatrician in back of my head who said, do not drug kids. These things are drugs. These things kill babies. I said, stay away from traditional medicines and whatever and whatnot. And then so I was like, okay. So I asked my mom to give me this, and then I looked at the label. It said for use in adults only. This is the one that says, it's a bit stretched off so you won't see it properly, but I'll try and add an actual label from online and paste it onto the video if I can. But this is for use in adults only and not for consumption. So I told my mom, but this shouldn't be drank by a baby. Then she asked me, is it fine if we rather add a few drops to his bath water? Then I weighed up the options and the risk and the safety. I was like, okay, that's fine. See, that is how I handled it, calmly and respectfully, and I got what I wanted. Guys, I could go on and on about this, hey, and traditional medicines, and I know the standard argument is that no, but we were given these as kids, and our parents, our moms have been giving this to us for generations and generations, and no one has ever gotten sick or ill, whatever. But we have to understand that we were raised in different times. Our parents had different resources to what we have now, and most of us, or myself, I was raised in rural villages where my parents didn't have easy access to healthcare facilities, or, let alone a pediatrician to tell you that you are drugging your child if you're giving them this. So what I'm trying to say that we are living in different times and we different resources to our disposal. And what my pediatrician told me that these type of medicines, these traditional medicines are very dangerous, that they even kill babies. And if you ever take your child to ER because they are reacting to these type of medicines that you are not supposed to give to baby, the healthcare professionals, doctors, nurses have the right to call the police on you, and you could be arrested for negligence or attempt of causing grievous harm to a baby. It could get ugly very quickly. This is something I didn't know, that I feel like it's good for you guys to know, to keep in mind that if baby ever has a reaction to these type of medicine and they end up in the hospital, you might end up in jail. Keep in mind that not all advice is bad or unwarranted or is unnecessary. So always have an open mind and have an open approach to receiving and assessing information, advice that you are being given. For example, when we first got home with my son from the hospital, I was shown by the nurses that I have to bath baby with Epimix aqueous cream. That's what I needed to use, and that I shouldn't use Vaseline because it causes rash on babies. So they told me that I need to use Epimix, bath him with the Epimix, and also apply it thereafter. So there I am taking out the Epimix, and my mom was about to bath my son, and my mom was like, what's this? I'm like, no, they said we must bath baby with this. You're like, no, this thing is cold. This baby was warm. You are putting in a cold lotion on top of him. That's not gonna work. Bring him his soap. And then I went, because I did buy things, so I went and grabbed his soap, gave it to her. She bathed him, applied Vaseline, and I'm like, no, they said we mustn't apply Vaseline. And then she was like, so I must apply this cold thing to a newborn baby? No ways. Applied Vaseline. He didn't die, guys. He didn't have a rash. He didn't react. He was fine. So the reason I allowed her to do that was that it wasn't causing any or posing any harm to baby. So the baby soap is formulated for babies anyway. The Vaseline is formulated for babies. So it wasn't like I'm giving him products that were not formulated for newborns or infants. So that is how I was assessing things, that I'm not doing any harm to baby. Some things that you are told to do at the hospital don't really work in real life or are not very practical. So some advice that you might get from the hospital that have to do with really the health, especially with looking after or drying up the umbilical cord. You have to do what they say to the T, because that is a very sensitive area. Any funny infection that might happen, it can get very ugly. And the health of your child and safety is very important. And I've reached the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video adds value, and please, if you know of a new mom, share this video with them, will you? Thank you so much. Camagu.